and an inversion of the curvature of the surfactants at the interface. So, for example, passing from water in oil to laminar structures to bicontinuous microemulsion, and finally to obtain the oil in water droplets. Okay, so I will pass this slide. It's more than the same. Okay, to follow by PIT methods, as I told before, you will start by a coarse oil in water emulsion, for example. You will heat it up to the PIT temperatures that you have determined experimentally or you find in the literature, and you will cool down the system to obtain a very thin nanoemulsions. So in this case, at the PIT temperature, you will obtain a bicontinuous microemulsion. So passing through these structures, it will allow you to form the very thin droplet of the nanoemulsion in the cooling down process. You can follow the process by conductivity and by turbidity measurements. By conductivity, you will observe a drop of the conductivity when you pass from an oil in water emulsions to a water in oil emulsions. Okay, and the turbidity will be the inverse. You will see an increase of the turbidity of the system. You can process the PIT by in two ways. You can heat the system to a PIT, but you can also cool down the system. Okay, depending which kind of emulsion you want to obtain. You will most of the time you will heat the system if you want to obtain water in oil nanoemulsions, and you will cool down the system if you want to obtain an oil in water nanoemulsions. So in all the case, the PIT method is valid only for ethoxylated surfactant, as their affinity for both oil or water are depending of the temperatures, due to the dehydration of ethoxylated part of the surfactant. In this slide, I will show you a concrete example of a nanoemulsion prepared by the PIT method. The system is composed by water C16 with 6 ethoxylation and mineral oil. The binary phase diagram shows the phase as a function of the temperature and surfactant concentration for a fixed oil ratio oil to water plus oil ratio that is equal to 0.2. We can observe a diagram with a typical fish-like shape. Okay. As expected for water ethoxylated surfactants. A three-phase equilibrium formed by water microemulsion and oil was obtained at surfactant concentration in this region, concentration between 1 and 4%, and range from 60 to 100 degrees Celsius. This three-phase region is shifted to higher temperature as surfactant concentration decreases, as we can see. A single-phase region consisting of a microemulsion was found between 4 and 11% of surfactants. So in these regions, in between the both lines. Okay. These microemulsion regions is divided into two branches located at around 48 and 60 degrees Celsius. So in this experiment, the sample with a surfactant concentration between 1 and 9% of surfactants were used to carry out the emulsification by PIT methods at 40 degrees. Nanoemulsion formation was carried out by lowering the temperature from the corresponding HLB temperature to 40 degrees. So in each case, we take the HLB temperature, would cool down the system up to 40 degrees. The droplet size of a resulting emulsion are plotted in the right figures. as a function of the concentration of the surfactant concentration. And we can observe a decrease in the droplet size when increasing the surfactant concentration. The emulsification is optimal when a single phase, like microemulsions, is the starting point of spontaneous emulsification. In the case of multiphasic regions, we can observe that the final droplet size is not as small as in the case of microemulsions. Furthermore, the size and polydispersity of the final emulsion is lower when the distance in terms of temperature is smaller from the temperature at Shelby. We can see that here in the case of temperature of microemulsion, the distance in temperature that we have to cool down is smaller than in the case of the multiphasic regions. Okay, so by PIT, the advantages is that we can obtain very fine droplet with narrow size distribution. We will obtain a long-term stability of, due to this very narrow size distribution, and we obtain transparent and sprayable products. The drawbacks is that it's valid only for ionic ethoxylated surfactants, and we need to put energy to a system by heating or cooling the system to produce the PIT, to produce the phase inversion. Okay, so we can forget of this drawback using another low energy method, that is the pass to next slide, using the PIC methods or phase inversion composition methods. In this case, for example, we will dilute the system mixture surfactant oil with the water, and we will study the transition phase during the dilution pathway. So as an example, we can start from water in oil microemulsion, pass by a bicontinuous microemulsion or a lamellar liquid crystal, and at this point we will invert the structures. So we will pass by this zero curvature surfactant system. We will invert this, and if we further dilute the system, we will obtain an oil in water nanoemulsions. And as we take advantage of this very low interfacial tension that is observed in the bicontinuous microemulsions or lamellar, mainly in the microemulsions, it will allow us to obtain very small droplet size. So in this example, I show you the phase diagram of a system Cremophor EL water Migliol. The Cremophor EL, I think now is the brand name is Ethocas 35. In this case, it's an ethoxylated surfactant, but we will see that we can make the PIC with PEG-free surfactants. Okay, so in this case, the nanoemulsion were prepared in the water Cremophor EL Migliol system by addition of the water to an oil surfactant mixture. So we start from different dilution line, so from different surfactant to oil ratio, 10 to 90, 20, 80, 73, and 60, 40. And we dilute the system with water. Okay, in all cases, transparent to bluish, transparent bluish liquid dispersion appear after addition of approximately 50% of water to the oil surfactants. Okay, from a ratio 1 to 90-90 to 40-60. How can we know that this dispersion are nanoemulsion and not microemulsion? Well, it's quite simple. We can prepare the final formulation by mixing all the components together and mixing without dilution. And in this case, we observe that the dispersion we obtain are milky and look more as coarse dispersions, coarse emulsion than nanoemulsion. So in this case, we can demonstrate that the final dispersion are well nanoemulsion and not macroemulsion, not microemulsions. So in this case, the mechanism of formation of the microemulsion is explained by the phase behavior of the system. We can see that we start from a water in oil microemulsion. We pass by a small region of liquid crystal, lamellar liquid crystal, the L-alpha regions. Then we pass by a multiphasic system that includes microemulsions, bicontinuous microemulsions. And finally, we arrive in a multiphasic region, but these multiphasic regions by dilution is oil in water dispersion. And in this case, the particle size is very small, as we have seen that the samples are very transparent. Okay, if we look to the particle size at the different dilution line at different ratio surfactant oil, 30 to 70 to 50 to 50, we observe that in all cases, we obtain very thin nanoemulsion with diameter lower than 53 nanometers. And if we follow the stability of this droplet during 42 days, we observe that the droplet size almost show no variation. So due to the small droplet size, nanoemulsion will be stable against screaming and sedimentation. Viscosity of nanoemulsion prepared by PIC is in general very low. Since they are prepared by dilution, they contain high amount of water. Nevertheless, this viscosity can be adjusted very easily by addition of a carbomer, for example, in the continuous phase, that will increase quite a lot the viscosity of a product. So you can obtain nanoemulsion with high viscosity too. And this will allow to slow down the Ostwald ripening in the case of polydispersed nanoemulsions. Okay, so the case I explained you was ethoxylated surfactant, the Cremophor-EL, but recently there is new kind of surfactants based on glycerol or on sugars like sucrose ester, and there is many. It has been proved that you can inverse the system by PIC with this new kind of surfactants, so without using ethoxylated surfactants. In this slide, I show you an example of Evonik that proposed this PEG-free nanoemulsion prepared by PIC. In this formulation, they use the polyglyceryl 4-laurate as the main surfactants, and their procedure consists in preparing a preliminary microemulsion, mixing the two phase A and B. Then they add the oil, and then they dilute the system with the water to reach 90% of water in the final dispersion. The same nanoemulsion can be prepared with other oils such as isopropyl palmitoyl, mineral oil, caprylyl capric triglyceride, or avocado oil. We can